Hey everybody, it's Mr. P, and I am here with Angela Bevilacqua.
Hi,
Angela,
everyone.
how's it going? Thanks for being here. I really appreciate you doing this.
Thanks for having me, Mr. P. I was
Aw,
psyched when I heard about it.
I miss you. I would see you a couple times a day in school coming in and out of the media center.
For the past 2 or 3 years, I'm always in there.
Yeah. Hopefully we get to do it again, you know? Well, I
Oh,
mean,
you mean
if we
this
go
year?
back to
I thought you
school.
meant next year. I thought you were going to say I'm going to flunk.
No, I just mean this year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we start, I asked students the same question, just like I do in school. What did you have for dinner last night?
Oh, actually, I had a really good dinner. It was something that I've never had before. I went to my dad's last night for dinner, and we had this. His girlfriend is vegetarian. So we
Okay.
had this 4-cheese vegetable lasagna.
Okay.
It was actually really, really
That
good.
sounds good. Who cooked?
I don't think
Who
they made it.
cares?
I think it was like store-bought, but
Maybe that's why it was so good.
but I wasn't when you first said the idea of it, I was kind of like, ooh,
Yeah.
maybe not. But I was genuinely surprised.
Good. Good for you. That sounds good. Have
How
you been
about you?
eating okay? Are you surviving with food?
My mother, an
Okay.
excellent cook, is trying to fatten me up, I guess. All we've been doing is eating.
Same here. It's the Italian family background. You know what I
I
mean?
know. So much pasta. And
Yeah.
what did you
Lasagna.
have for dinner last night?
Oh, Angela, thanks for asking. I appreciate it. I'd like to tell you if you don't mind. We had Pal Joey's. So I had a Italian hoagie from Pal Joey's. It was out of this world. I think Pal Joey's might make the best hoagie around. And I know it's not in Pitman, so maybe that's
I
sort of
have
like
not ever
sacrilegious, but
eaten.
you've never eaten anything from there? Wow. Okay. I mean, I like Mama Marie's too, but I really do like Pal Joey's. They used to be in Pitman. Did you know that?
I did not. Oh
They
wait, yes,
did. Right
yeah.
on Broadway,
That's
right
a
next to Attilio's.
no. Never
Yeah.
mind.
What else?
I thought somewhere else was that. Never
Give,
mind.
give me give me your hoagie of choice. If you could get any hoagie, what would you get?
I'm definitely more of a turkey, lettuce, tomato kind of girl.
You get mayonnaise,
Yeah, mayo.
mayo.
All that.
Good.
You usually if the tomato's on there, like it's okay, but if it falls off, like it's fine.
You would prefer it on or off?
I mean, if it's there, it's okay. But like if it happens to like fall off my hoagie
Yeah,
into the
you'll
trash
survive.
can, like
That's a
that's
great
fine.
attitude. That's emblematic of the kind of person you are. You roll with the punches. You know, you adapt. You make accommodations depending on how things are going. I always tell I hate to jump right to this, but you saying that makes me think of a story from school, which is your student council president. We talked about this before we started, and you
Hmm.
do the morning announcements every day, the Pledge of Allegiance, and you read all that stuff.
I know where this is going.
And who's your homeroom teacher?
Miss Katz.
Right. So on your way back from doing the morning announcements, heading to Miss Katz, you would pass me in the hall,
Every
and
morning. Morning, Mr.
every morning. I loved it. I'm gonna remember that for the rest of my career. I promise, because you would always walk by and say hi. And sometimes teachers would stand with me, and we'd be talking in the morning, having a little coffee, and sometimes we would give you a little bit of a hard time about like, hey, you need to talk louder or talk slower, or we would give you these unsolicited tips. And it would start off at the beginning of the year that you would say, oh, I guess I would, yeah, I'll try and talk louder. I'll try
Yeah.
and talk slower. And by the end, last month, you were just kind of like, I don't even want to hear it anymore. Whatever. Yeah, it is what it is, Mr. P. Stop giving me
Okay.
such a hard time.
To be fair, everybody watching, it wasn't even like towards the end of the year. It was more so Mr. P saying like,
Oh,
"Did
boy.
you know that we couldn't even hear you for half the time? Like, I can't do anything about that."
But I felt like as a leader in the school among students, maybe you had some say in the main office, and you could let the powers that be know that the audience is unable to hear you.
I
I
think they
thought,
knew.
yeah, I think they knew too. How'd that work out?
They just jiggled it,
Yeah,
turned it on and off.
yeah. So how are you? How's life? What are you up to?
Um, doing a lot of home renovations with my
Mm-hmm.
mom.
Tell us about it. What are you doing?
For starters, we painted the back porch, like the whole the fencing on the back porch. Painted
Okay.
that completely.
Okay.
Cleaned out the basement completely. Cleaned out the attic completely. And my mom's when we were younger, we used to go in the attic and basically she just kind of let us have a free for all. We would draw on the walls and with markers and all that.
Yeah.
So now we are painting over it, and we cleaned out, decluttered.
Okay. That's amazing. Did
Every
your mom come up with this stuff? Or do you say, Mom, maybe it's time to clean out the basement?
Oh no, it's definitely more of her being all right, home project of today.
And do you have an option? What if you just said, Mom, I think I'm just going to kind of lounge around today?
Um, if my brother or I legitimately have something to do, schoolwork, then she's all right, fine, I'll do it myself. But
Right.
if not, it's get your butt down here.
Yeah. You got to be
We are
productive.
working.
And
Yeah.
would you say that that's a good thing? Are you, when it's done, when the basement's cleaned out or the back porch is painted, do you have a sense of satisfaction? Or is it I would have just as soon let my mom do it all on her own?
So the back porch actually looked really nice after it was done, and it was kind of oh, this looks so much better. It was
See?
definitely pulling teeth to get us to do it.
Yeah.
The basement or attic, I don't see them on the daily basis. I don't go
Right.
up there because it's creepy.
Right.
So
Oh,
those
that's good.
I don't really care that much about. But
We're doing the same thing here. I said to you off camera, we have Mrs. P has not liked how this old dated dining room is coming across on these interviews. So now we're spackling and getting ready to paint it. So you have all this, I don't want to say it's found time because you should be getting your schoolwork done and we all have things that we have to do. But let's be honest, there's a lot of opportunity here because we're on lockdown to get things done around the house.
Mm-hmm.
If this was the summer, you'd be at the beach or something, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So, but now your mom sees you and says, and your brother, and says, I have free labor at my disposal.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, what's Angela doing for herself? What are you doing for fun or when you're not helping your mom?
For myself, I got back into painting. I used to paint a lot when I was younger.
Okay.
And I did a couple pieces.
You don't have anything sitting there, do you, that you could show?
Actually,
could be something old. Doesn't have to be something you did this quarantine.
I have a picture of the painting on my phone.
Let's see it.
That's the most accessible thing I could think of.
Remember you did that painting or drawing for me, and you left it in the media center one day. You signed it, and it went up on the media center bulletin board. You probably forgot about that, but I didn't. I didn't forget. I loved it. I even think I put it on my Instagram.
You did.
Yes, I did.
Wait,
yes,
I know
did.
it's in your phone.
Well, we got all the time you need, Angela. I mean, I'm here for you.
Wait, I know it's in here somewhere.
I'm moving on. It's okay. You'll find it later.
No.
The audience is going from single digits to no digits, Angela. Oh, that's nice. It's sort of wow. Is that what's the size of that? It was hard for me to tell. Is that like a 4x6 or is it a big painting?
No, it was bigger. It was probably about this big.
Okay. Why don't you start an Etsy shop? You could sell them.
Make some money.
Yes, I would buy one. I'm serious. I'll buy one for the media center.
I'll donate one to the media center.
Really? How about that one?
That one? You want this one? You can have this one for the media center.
I'm joking. I don't want to put you on the spot. We'll talk later. Don't worry about it. But they're beautiful and you're talented.
Thanks.
It's not a paint by number, is it?
No.
You're sure?
I
You did that
promise.
from your brain?
Yes.
All right,
I
I'll have to
swear.
take your word for it. What other choice do I have? Are you
don't have
reading any books? Oh boy.
Oh,
Ugh. Are you watching any TV shows?
oh, hello?
Hi, it's Mr. P. Angela, you're live on the air. What's going on?
I am watching Outer Bank.
Never heard of it.
Outer Bank. It just came out on Netflix. It was really good.
Okay.
Well, I already finished it.
All 12 seasons.
No, but actually, it only had one season. There was 10 episodes, and they were each an hour long.
Oh, wow.
It took me 2 days to finish it.
And you're telling your mom you're doing schoolwork to get out of helping her paint, and meanwhile, you're locked up in your bedroom watching Outer Bank.
No, so actually, my sleep schedule is destroyed. Gone.
Everybody else I've talked to said they're staying up all night and sort of like sleeping in the day. So what's your schedule been like?
Okay, my schedule is I probably wake up. Well, I don't go to bed sometimes until like 3 or 4 in the morning. And then I have to get up at 9 for Spanish class with Senorita because we do like the whole face-to-face like Google Meet.
Are you in Michael Franchi's class?
Yeah.
Because he said something similar, that he has to get up for her Spanish class. And I'd just like to say, Miss Nichols, if you're watching, I would suggest moving the class time up earlier to force students back into some semblance of normalcy for the sake of the parents out there.
Because Miss Nichols knows this, and I'll be honest, there's been like 2 classes that I've missed in total, slept right through them suckers. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah,
so I wake up for that. Then usually on most days, I'll fall back asleep, take a little nap after that's over. And then today I've actually been up. I've been getting into cooking.
Probably because you have so much adrenaline about doing this interview.
Yeah.
You couldn't sleep. I know I couldn't sleep last night. I was thinking about this, what questions I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
I can tell
your content doesn't come easy.
No, it does not. Do you think this doesn't come without some preparation? Don't answer that. Talk to me about how much is the schoolwork that you're doing been more or less than you expected? And or how is it different than what you expected when we first started?
Okay, so probably the first 2 weeks into this. How many weeks are we into this? I have
no idea.
A lot.
Well, it's 6.
6. Okay,
6-ish.
so probably for the first 2 weeks, I was like, man, I love this. This is like, because when I think about the classes I had, so I'm in AP Spanish, AP Calc, and AP English. So all those classes just hit me hard every single day coming into school. And this was kind of like, while it was an adjustment, everyone's like getting into it, they kind of pulled back in a way.
Mm-hmm. The teachers pulled back. Yeah,
so I felt like I had less work than I had originally. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like, because before I was just so stressed out with everything. Not even just like school, but like I was so busy because of sports and work and everything like that. But now
when we first came home, it was like decompressing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think it took a week or 2 for everybody to get their legs under them and kind of get back into the swing of anything.
Yeah. So, but now I feel like I just have so much schoolwork like piling on top of me. And that's partly like my own fault, like bad time management and like senioritis, no motivation.
Sure. I get it. We were talking off camera before we started about how at this stage of the game in school, senioritis does set in. And I've always said it's sort of contagious, once maybe even like the seniors get it, that filters down towards the other grade levels too.
Yeah. Or even like within the grade level. Like
absolutely.
once through texting like one friend, like, oh, like I don't
Listen,
really think I'm gonna do
once we
this.
get to May and the weather starts getting nicer, it's hard. I listen, I get it. But now that you're
Mhm.
disconnected from everybody in some way, in a physical way,
Mhm.
um, you're experiencing those feelings by yourself. So I would
Yeah.
imagine that's a challenge. I'll just leave it at that, right?
Yeah.
How much work would you say you're doing a day, time wise? You could be honest. I've heard the
Uh,
whole gamut.
sometimes, like honestly, 2 or 3 days a week, I'm able to make it through with doing absolutely nothing.
Hmm.
But oh my God, sorry,
It's okay.
it's my brother.
It's all right.
Um, but usually, well, for Miss Sal, for math, we usually have to do something every day. That probably takes me about like 20, 30 minutes, maybe.
Right.
But like if I'm actually sitting down and like trying to do work, 2 hours at the most.
Hmm. Okay.
Honestly,
And
not spending that much time on
do you
school.
do it in the morning or when you wake up, or do you chip away at it over the course of a day?
For the most part, I try to do whatever like is like due was assigned. Say if something was assigned today and it's due tonight, I try to get it done in the morning and get it out of the way. But there are times where I find myself awake at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and doing schoolwork at that time.
Wow. Uh, a lot of the boys that I'm talking to are saying that they are connecting in the wee hours of the morning through things like PlayStation and video games. Is there a equivalent that you're doing with your friends,
Um,
or is it are you like on a group chat, or how are you staying connected with your friends?
honestly, P, staying connected with some of my friends has been really hard. I feel like I'm not really talking to a lot of people right now. Um, I talk to my one girlfriend like every couple of days. We
Mhm.
don't even talk every day, honestly.
Is that
Um,
how you're wired, or is that made you lonely? For I don't want to get weird,
um,
but is it hard?
it's just weird. Like we've talked about it like back and forth. Like, oh, it's just everything's so weird. Like in some way, like you feel so isolated. Like you feel like more people would be like connecting,
Hmm.
but in like my experience, it just makes me kind of just be like whatever.
Yeah, and we all deal with
But
it in our own way. I
my
think this
one
is how
friend,
I'm dealing with it. I miss
yeah,
you guys. I miss you. So
uh-huh,
this is how I'm trying my best to stay connected to the seniors
yeah.
before the end of the year.
My one really good friend who she's from Glassboro. I met her through work.
Hmm.
We've been like FaceTiming every day. We talk a lot,
Hmm.
but I don't
Okay.
know. It's
Yeah.
been kind of weird.
Well, what would you say you miss the most about Pittman High School?
The routine it gave me.
What
Like
was
I feel
that?
so just you know me, I love to talk. I'm such a social person. Like I didn't mind being in school. It was more this sounds so
No,
bad,
you
but
were
like
about to say it was the social experience that you
yeah,
enjoyed,
it
and
is.
the academic experience was secondary.
Mhm.
I mean, for a lot of students, I think that's as good as it gets, right? I mean, you're making lifelong friendships and connections with people, so there's nothing wrong with that. You're going to
Mhm.
remember some of the things that took place in the school much more vividly, um, in terms of the friendships and connections that you made. You're going to remember those way more than you remember, let's be honest, some of the content in your classes. I think that's part of what makes being in high school so special for
Yeah.
everybody. Is there any teacher that you'd be willing to go on record as saying, I really miss this person, this teacher?
Definitely. Mr. Newcomb.
Yeah.
Pete, me, you, and Newcomb, we would have the chats almost like once a week because I was his teacher aide, and then back to back, I was your aide.
No work getting done, of course. Say
I
you
was
were a good worker. No, the work. I
I
will
put
say I
in
would make you do work first, and then if we had time, we would.
I put in a solid amount of work junior year. Maybe not senior year.
Okay, we'll just leave it at that. I mean,
We'll just leave it at that. I provided you with maybe not work, but entertainment.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
You sure did. In that regard, yes. Yeah, you were great. I appreciate everything you did. Have you watched any of these episodes before?
Anyway, you cut out.
I'm sorry. Have you watched any previous interviews I've done? Have you
I hear you.
watched
No, I haven't.
any?
No.
I have
To be
these.
complete.
That's okay. I have these two bowls. We're going to do a bowl question.
A what?
A bowl question.
Okay.
Because these are bowls.
Yeah.
See where I came up with that name?
Yes.
This bowl has all questions about me. Trivia. This bowl has all questions related to COVID-19 and things in the news. If you pick a question and get it right, you can choose from either a pizza party, or I'm going to buy you lunch, or you can have all of your library fines waived. But you don't have to decide now. Which bowl would you?
Fines.
Well, because you have to check a book out for that to happen. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Which bowl would you like to take a question out of?
I haven't watched the news at all, so I'm gonna go with Mr. P's bowl.
All right. I don't watch any news either. You know, I'm up all night playing Xbox with my homeboys.
Yeah, I know. Definitely.
So I'm gonna mix them up. Do you mind if I pick the question?
I kind of want to pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold it up. All right. Perfect. Look, good choice. All right, here we go. All right. If I could live in any state besides New Jersey, in what state would I live? I've talked about this in school. If I could live anywhere besides New Jersey, in what state would I live?
I don't know if I've ever heard you say this directly.
All right.
I feel like it wouldn't be a coast state.
You'd think I'd like to go inland.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I've never really heard you talk about the beach that much.
Interesting.
I could be off.
With this physique, probably going inland would be a good idea, considering beaches.
Okay, let's think. Can I have a hint?
Can you have a hint? All right, I'll give you a hint.
Thanks.
We'll go that this state is east of the Mississippi River. That eliminates like half the states.
I don't know where the Mississippi River is. Wait, never eat.
Your answer now is going to be indicative of whether you can name a state east of the Mississippi. Come on, give me a state. I'll give you another hint real quick. This state is on the coast. It's on a coast. And since I already said it's east of the Mississippi, you know it must either be on the Gulf Coast or the Atlantic Ocean.
New York.
New York. Is that your final answer?
Georgia.
Maine. I would love to
live in Maine. What is in
Maine
that you want to live in Maine?
I think it's beautiful. I think that the weather is amazing. I love like the whole lobster seafood vibe. It's a slower pace.
Where's Maine?
Maine. Maine's up top, Angela. Top corner. You've never been to Maine?
No.
What state would you live in if you had to pick another one besides New Jersey? I could see you
I'd like to live in New York.
Yeah, I could see New York. I was going to say California. You know, like a West Coast vibe going on.
I've never been there.
Neither have I. It's on my list. Right, that's a good point. So I haven't even been to half the state. So, how can I really make an educated decision? I've been to Maine for summers and vacations and things. I love it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, that's enough about me. Let's move on, all right? What would you say is the best thing about Pitman High School? What makes it so special?
Probably for me, the size. I know a lot of people don't like that. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's so small. Like everybody's in everybody's business." But I like a small school because I feel like if you're trying to get something done for
Mhm.
one, it's more easy to collect everybody and get everybody on the same page.
Right.
Sorry, my laptop
That's
again.
okay.
Um, it's just more easy to like spread information and to really just know everyone. It's different. It's a different feeling instead of walking through the hallways and being like, "Oh, I've never seen you before." Which I
There's a
noticed.
closeness here.
Yeah, and also, which is really weird, I noticed. I remember freshman year, like when I would walk through the hallways, I would know everybody. There was not a person that I did not know. I
Hmm.
knew all the seniors, all the juniors, all the sophomores. But now, like when I would walk through the hallways, I would be like, who is that? Someone would be like, oh, like that's a freshman. I'd be like, I've never seen them before.
That might be partly due to you maturing and becoming a senior. Maybe when you were a freshman, you idolize or you get familiar with the upperclassmen just because they're older. But as you
Yeah,
become a senior, it's like, who are these little kids that are walking around my school? Right? I think you become more
yeah,
insular as you become a senior because you associate only with the people in your class. Whereas when you're a freshman, you're looking up to teammates, you're looking up to classmates. I think that's
yeah.
a normal experience.
Oh,
Um,
that's also another thing. Like, since our school's so small, like if you want to play a sport, you have the opportunity to.
yeah, I don't think anybody's mentioned that, and I've been waiting to hear that, but I think that's true, right? There's a lot of opportunity at our school to be successful in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, like we don't do any cuts, so it's not like you're like, oh, like I really want to play, but
Right,
can't.
right. Could you tell us what your plans are after graduation?
I am committed to Stevens Institute of Technology in the fall, which is in Hoboken, New Jersey, right across the river from New York
Hmm.
for chemical engineering.
That's amazing. I've been there. I
Really?
love Hoboken. Yes.
I am super excited. A couple weeks ago, I actually just met the girl that I'm going to be rooming with.
Oh, nice. Where's she from?
She's from she's from like 10 minutes away from Stevens up north and I
Okay.
think Carlston, New Jersey.
Okay.
It's in Bergen County
All right.
up there.
Um, and let's fast forward if you could 10, 20 years down the road. What's Angela going to be doing with her chemical engineering background?
So when a lot of people think of chemical engineering, they think like petroleum and gas and different stuff like that. But I actually want to get into the cosmetic industry, like
Wow.
makeup, beauty products, bath products, stuff like
Okay.
that. So
And
hopefully be
you're
working.
in the right part of the country with New York City being right there.
Yep, definitely. That's also another reason why I chose that
Hmm.
school.
Good for you.
But
Good luck.
thanks.
I can't wait to see how it turns out.
Oh, yep, hopefully it does turn out work out good.
Last question. Is there anything you'd like to say to your friends and classmates at the high school?
Um, miss you guys. Sorry it didn't work out the way we planned. Um, hopefully we'll have a graduation soon.
Hopefully.
Hopefully there's
Okay.
something we can do. But
Yeah, that's
it's been
fantastic.
been a great 4 years.
Yeah. All right, Angela, thanks so much for doing this. I miss you. I appreciate it. And we'll talk soon, okay?
Definitely. This is awesome, Mr. P.
Oh, thanks, Angela. I'll talk to you soon. See you later.
All right, bye.
Bye.